Welcome. I am the Law Master, and today's lesson will be on humanity and the Imperium. I will tell it to you as I remember it. The purpose of this section is to acquaint the listener with the overall history and structure of the Imperium. Within the galaxy, the Imperium retains its status as the most dominant and influential political entity. No other alien races, no matter how prolific, can match the sheer numbers of humanity. Furthermore, it is implausible to attribute even a fraction of mankind's power to any single alien race. Over 10,000 years ago, the great emperor of mankind ascended to the golden throne of Earth. Of the wars he waged to attain this position and the countless trials of conquering worlds, there exists no recorded account. Only the emperor himself retains memories of those distant times. The ascent of the emperor marked the conclusion of an extended period in human history, an age characterized by interhuman conflicts and the gradual erosion of the accumulated knowledge spanning millennia. This era was known as the Age of Strife. The zenith of scientific achievement had occurred thousands of years earlier, during the even more ancient period referred to as the Dark Age of Technology. Through the Dark Age of Technology and the Age of Strife, humanity has arrived at its current epoch, the era of the Imperium. In many aspects, it is an era of superstition, where a vast and incomprehensible technology has been harnessed by the influences of mysticism and insanity. To the common humans of this age, whether they are peasants toiling in the fields or warriors venturing amidst the stars, scientific thought embodies a repugnant deviation, a distortion of honor and religious virtue. Even among the rare individuals who engage with the components of technology, science and magic have become largely intertwined. The warp engine must bear arcane runes upon its surface, and the laser gun demands the blessings of the gods before battle. This is a universe where mysticism, magic, and psychic abilities are tangible realities. It's a time of profound transformation within humanity itself, a period in which an increasing number of humans are manifesting powers and insights far surpassing those of their ancestors. These individuals developing such extraordinary abilities are referred to as psychics or psychers, although they are often labeled with less flattering terms, with witch being the most prevalent. Psychers are men and women who possess the capacity to transcend the conventional laws of space, connecting them with vast universal forces that lie well beyond the comprehension of their kin. Their gifts encompass enigmatic capabilities such as telepathy, telekinesis, illusion casting, and numerous others. Many ordinary humans attribute these powers to a divine origin. Some psychers contend that their abilities allow them to tap into forces controlled by entities existing outside the conventional universe, beyond the bounds of normal time and space. A few individuals seek rational explanations for these phenomena, but this is not an era characterized by rationality, and their voices are few and frail. The Imperial Hierarchy. The master of mankind, the emperor of the Imperium, has occupied the golden throne of Earth for 10 millennia. His body endures through ancient technology and sheer force of will, for the emperor stands as the most powerful psyker of all, a nearly inexhaustible wellspring of psychic energy. He is no ordinary man. In many aspects he resembles a god, worshipped as such by countless billions. Ultimately, the Emperor wields absolute authority within the Imperium. However, the Imperium encompasses such vastness, and the responsibility of guiding humanity's destiny is so monumental that overseeing the day-to-day affairs of the Imperium is as far beneath the Emperor as the fate of a single planet, or a mere handful of billions of people. For this reason, the Emperor's will is carried out through two immense organizations: the Adeptus Terra, also referred to as the priesthood, and the Inquisition. The Adeptus Terra, commonly referred to as the priesthood, consists of millions of dedicated imperial servants who are quasi-religious adherents of the Emperor. Their primary duty is to interpret and enforce the imperial will. It is the priesthood that effectively manages the operations of the Imperium. This extensive organization is further subdivided into numerous bureaucratic departments, among which the most prominent include the Adeptus Custodes, the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Adeptus Arbites, the Adeptus Astronomica, the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, and the Administratum. The Adeptus Custodes constitutes the Emperor's innermost guard, composed of individuals who are granted the privilege of serving in close proximity to the Emperor. They attend to his requirements, receive and document his instructions. These individuals seldom depart from Earth, and only exceptionally venture beyond the confines of the Imperial Palace, a sprawling, shadowy citadel of forbidden technology and subterranean passageways that extend deep into the planet's depths. The Adeptus Mechanicus, often referred to as the Tech Priests, assume the role of custodians for all ancient arcane technology, which represents the last vestiges of what, in a less advanced era, would have been termed science. One of their primary responsibilities is the upkeep and maintenance of the machinery that sustains the Emperor's existence. The Adeptus Arbites, often referred to as judges, fulfill dual roles as both a warrior elite and a law enforcement authority with jurisdiction over all planetary governments and local police forces. These judges comprise the armed and policing forces of the priesthood, essentially the soldiers and law enforcement personnel of the Adeptus Terra. The Adeptus Astronomica, part of the priesthood, assumes the direct responsibility of preserving the psychic homing signal utilized by navigators across the Imperium, known as the Astronomicon. This continuous transmission of mental energy ultimately consumes them, but there are always new individuals ready to step into their roles. The Adeptus Astra Telepathica, often referred to as astropaths, represents psychic servants of the Imperium, individuals who have undergone a ritual soul binding with the Emperor. This process imparts some of the Emperor's strength of will to his servants, thereby shielding them from malevolent, psychically attuned adversaries. A very limited number of astropaths are deemed strong enough to serve the Emperor without undergoing the soul-binding ritual. These individuals are fortunate, as the ritual is excruciating and results in blindness. The Administratum comprises the majority of administrative personnel and countless anonymous members of the priesthood. They oversee the administration of the Imperium across all levels, from the assembly of war fleets to the collection of taxes. The entire administrative apparatus of the priesthood organization is at times collectively referred to as the Administratum. The Inquisition is the sole organization within the entire Imperium that operates independently of the authority of the Adeptus Terra. The leader of the Inquisition holds a position of immense significance, to the extent that they are granted automatic access to the Emperor, a privilege extended only to high-ranking members of the Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus Custodes, and the Master of the Adeptus Terra itself. The Inquisition is answerable exclusively to the Emperor because its responsibilities demand unwavering loyalty and unyielding dedication. Like the priesthood, the members of the Inquisition are organized into various ranks, each with defined areas of responsibility. But an ordinary inquisitor possesses a greater degree of autonomy compared to the desk-bound scribe or record keeper within the priesthood. Inquisitors are figures who evoke fear and respect. Their primary mission is to investigate, to uncover dissent and inefficiency, to combat hostile aliens, and to shield humanity from the myriad perils that could lead to its downfall. The most significant menace to humanity originates from within its own ranks, particularly with the constant emergence of mutants and psychers. When left unchecked, untrained psychers present a genuine and lethal threat, as they become susceptible to the influence of various enigmatic and hostile alien species that seek to exploit their psychic abilities. The Inquisition operates in close coordination with the priesthood, identifying threats so that the full power of the Adeptus Terra can be marshaled against them. Planetary administration falls under the jurisdiction of governors known as Imperial Commanders, a title that roughly corresponds to the term Lord. These commanders are appointed by the Administratum to oversee a planet, or on rare occasions a continent or a specialized project. The position is often seen as hereditary, linked to an ancient title such as Duke of Calico, Baron of Imgal, Lord of Lambsworld, and so forth. While obligated to the priesthood, the commander essentially functions as an independent governor. As long as taxes are collected, quotas met, and the planet maintained in order, the commander has a degree of freedom to govern as they see fit. Commanders can raise and maintain their own armies and interplanetary fleets, and may even be granted access to interstellar spacecraft. The Legion's Astartes, universally known as the Space Marines, is composed of 1,000 autonomous combat units referred to as chapters, each typically consisting of approximately 1,000 fighting troops. Every chapter has its own commander, one of whom carries the title of Master of Marines. These commanders are answerable to the highest-ranking members of the priesthood, but their authority pertains mostly to non-military matters. While a commander may receive directives to eliminate a target, the specific methods and tactics employed are at the commander's discretion. His sole obligation is to achieve success. The Space Marines constitute the Imperium's primary strike force of highly mobile warriors, capable of deploying anywhere at any time. They are often popularly referred to as the Angels of Death by both humans and aliens alike. The Imperial Army serves as a repository of garrison troops that can be deployed to significant conflicts as required, but it primarily functions as an immobile defensive force. Army units are frequently assigned to Imperial commanders for tasks like safeguarding crucial installations. The Army operates under its distinct organizational structure, but ultimately, Army commanders answer to the authority of the Adeptus Terra. The Imperial fleet assumes a pivotal role in interstellar travel, a domain largely controlled by the priesthood. They authorize routine voyages and redirect spacecraft to serve their objectives. Independent vessels capable of interstellar flight are exceedingly scarce. The fleet manages the transportation of cargo and personnel between star systems in alignment with the Imperium's requirements. Additionally, the fleet undertakes regular tasks such as frontier world patrols and alien intrusion reconnaissance. In total, the fleet consists of numerous thousands of ships, and the Imperium possesses a substantial capacity for spacecraft construction and operation. The rogue traders play a crucial role within the Imperium as independent explorers, conquerors, and merchants. A rogue trader is a trusted agent of the Imperium, provided with a starship, a crew, a detachment of Marines, and full authority to venture beyond the boundaries of the Imperium. And thus, today's lesson concludes, and I trust that you now possess a fundamental comprehension of how the Imperium of Man functions, along with insights into the roles of its various organizations. You have gained an understanding of how these entities collaborate to counter threats to humanity and maintain order within the Imperium. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more lore and history in the Warhammer 40K universe. Future videos will include more specific information on the different worlds of the Imperium, Space Marine chapters, warp space, and even on the Emperor himself.